The ADP have issued a lengthy statement in response to Novak Djokovic, Nick Kyrgios, and other players launching a legal challenge against tennis governing bodies. The Professional Tennis Players Association, PTPA, which was set up by Djokovic and Vasek Pospisil, is taking legal action against the ADP, WTA, and other organizations in what could prove to be a historic moment for the sport. A total of 12 current and former players, including Djokovic, Pospisil, and Kyrgios, are listed as plaintiffs alongside the PTPA. In a statement, they vowed to expose alleged systemic abuse, anti-competitive practices, and a blatant disregard for player welfare that have persisted for decades. The list of allegations includes 8 subsections, which are collusion to reduce competition, fixing prize money, suppressing player earnings, ranking points mandates, maintaining an unsustainable schedule, disregard for players, exploiting players financially, and violating privacy rights. The ADP have since responded by issuing a 320-word statement, in which they strongly reject the allegations made by the PTPA and describe the legal case as entirely without merit. The statement begins, "Since the inception of the ADP Tour in 1990, ADP has played a leading role in the global growth of men's professional tennis. Throughout more than 3 decades, ADP's 50-50 governance structure has ensured that players and tournaments have an equal voice in shaping the sport's direction at the highest level. Recent years have brought about transformative changes for players. The introduction of a prize money formula, record-setting on-site prize money, and new and expanded bonus pools have contributed to a major increase in player compensation, up $70 million, £53.8 million, in the past 5 years. The introduction of annual, independent audits has given players full transparency over tournament financials at ADP events. ADP's baseline program has introduced minimum guaranteed income for the top 250 ranked singles players, providing unprecedented financial security in professional tennis. Contributions to the Player Pension Fund has surged, while prize money at ADP Challenger Tour events has more than doubled, reinforcing ADP's commitment to strengthening the player pathway. These advancements have been achieved through ADP's governance structure, with every key decision made with player input and by their elected representatives." The ADP statement goes on to insist that players have retained extensive control over their careers in spite of the legal claims, accusing the PTPA of spreading misinformation and questioning its relevance within the sport. It continues, "Players, as independent contractors, have retained extensive control over their schedules, allowing them the flexibility to compete, train, and monetize their careers as they see fit." While ADP has remained focused on delivering reforms that benefit players at multiple levels, the PTPA has consistently chosen division and distraction through misinformation over progress. 5 years on from its inception in 2020, the PTPA has struggled to establish a meaningful role in tennis, making its decision to pursue legal action at this juncture unsurprising. "We strongly reject the premise of the PTPA's claims, believe the case to be entirely without merit, and will vigorously defend our position. ADP remains committed to working in the best interests of the game towards continued growth, financial stability, and the best possible future for our players, tournaments, and fans." While the WTA said, "The PTPA's action is both regrettable and misguided, and we will defend our position vigorously in due course." The WTA is a non-profit, membership organization that exists to advance women's tennis on behalf of players, tournaments, and fans. WTA players, as equal members alongside tournaments, have an essential and influential voice in the governance of the WTA. Every decision taken at the WTA board level includes the input of players via their elected board representatives, and athletes receive substantial financial rewards and other benefits from participation in the WTA. It is this governance model, supported by generations of athletes, that has allowed the WTA to achieve considerable progress on behalf of our players. Among many examples, in recent years we have committed to a $400 million increase in player compensation, set out a pathway to pay equality at our major WTA events, secured new investment to fuel the long-term growth of the sport, and launched the first comprehensive maternity benefits for independent, self-employed athletes in the history of women's sports. The WTA is fully committed to continuing to develop and evolve the structure and operations of professional women's tennis, listening closely, as always, to the views of our players. Contesting this baseless legal case will divert time, attention, and resources from our core mission to the detriment of our players and the sport as a whole. And that wraps up today's news. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tennis content. See you next time.